Hey guys, welcome back to 5nothing100nothing.com. I am Fuggit, and it stands for the fittest underdog guru using intelligent tactics. And today, guys, I want to tell you to beware of the nostalgia vacuum. Okay, so it's time of year, holiday season in the United States, where we celebrated Thanksgiving. Christmas is a few days away. New Year's, where everybody makes resolutions and wants to make their life better. Time to reflect back on the year. So you'll see things on television or hear things on the radio about the year in review. And, we look back. And if, like me, you've lost any loved ones around the holidays, it can affect you. Some more than others. I try to look upon those that have passed in my family and in my circle with fondness, and I try to keep a perspective of enjoying the people that are here, and you never know when any day is going to be the last that you have with them. So appreciate them, tell them you love them, and don't live with regrets, because you may not have another day to tell them. So on that happy note, let me just talk about kind of like a nostalgic vacuum. So what I mean is, think about what a vacuum does. It sucks you in, right? And think about it. How many times have you either been with friends or family and a song comes on the radio and all of a sudden you were in a certain mood or state and it completely changes, either for better or worse, because it takes you back, right? This takes me back. I'll be in the gym and they'll play some songs that are now oldies, that are like 80s metal or hard rock, and I'll hear that, and then I'll hear WOMC oldies. I'm, what? That's not an oldie. Then I see all my grays and go, yeah, maybe it is. To me, oldies are like the Beatles, Jimi Hendrix, Buddy Holly. Those are oldies to me. But, we all get older. I always say this. I said it several years ago, and I still echo it now, that in our perfect world, our grandparents are old, our parents are middle-aged, and we're young, and it never changes, right? But you know what? You get your turn. You start off young, impressionable, you grow, take on more responsibility. Those middle-aged years, your parents are now the old, your grandparents have passed on, if you're unfortunate, or it's just the circle of life. And now, if you have aging, elderly, sick parents, you're taking care of them. If you have children, you're taking care of them. And you're still right in the heat of your career, right in your earning years, where you might have a lot of demands professionally. So those middle years can be crazy too. And then you have those golden years, when you're older and hopefully you've set yourself up with good relationships, maybe a love of your life, like I've recently done. And you feel good about those years to come. Hopefully you're in good health and you can enjoy the fruits of your labor, and you can look back with fondness, but also live through the imagination, the freshness of youth, perhaps in your own children or grandchildren. And, but life's not guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed. And that's why each day you've got to look at, the good old days are now. They're what you make of them. They're what you create. Because that nostalgic vacuum, it's interesting because, there's things like, again, that will trigger nostalgia. And it's sometimes where you're just in your own head, but usually it's an external stimulus that comes in and reminds you. And the thing is your memories or your ability to recall are not always like 100% reliable or valid or accurate, I should say. Because if you were to hang out with a circle of friends, everybody remembers, if you were all together for a special moment or a crazy moment in your lives, and you're all recalling a situation, it's interesting how you'll recall different things. One friend will remember one crazy thing you did and you're like, I don't think I did that. Or you might remember it a slightly different way, especially if there was any substances abused during that time. But even if there's not, it's interesting that as years pass on, it's going to be different for you, just as it's a different recall or recollection for each. And so you've got to be careful that when you're brought under the spell of nostalgia and it becomes like a vacuum to suck you in, to try to keep perspective, because I know a lot of people can long for the days that are gone and actually get depressed about it and try to either drink it away or take pills or, God forbid, take their own life. And it's unfortunate that that happens. But I remember growing up, and I would see people either really happy or really sad, and I didn't get it until I lived enough life to be able to see how that can happen to people, how it can, just the things that happen in your life, the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, how it can affect you and change your state. But at the end of the day, you've always had the power within you to control your mood, your emotions. Life has things that happen to you. Even if you are the best planner in the world, you make all the quote unquote right decisions, whatever that means for you, there's still things that are going to happen to you. You may have had a child that was the fatality victim of a hit and run or a drunk driver, and the holidays are never the same for you. And maybe you've never quite got that pep in your step again, or that zest for life, because you never heal from something like that. But you have to find some kind of peace and a way to move on through that, whether it is to honor their memory or to become a advocate or have a foundation for a cause so that things like that don't happen to anybody else. You see people get a lot of healing and a lot of joy out of that. There's countless stories on people's life stories like that. But, at the end of the day, look back, but take it with a grain of salt, your memories of nostalgia or those good old days or whatever it was. Or maybe you were married and you didn't want to be divorced, and you look back at those early honeymoon days of the marriage and you think, why didn't this work? Why couldn't I have made this relationship work? Whatever it is, you might have been in a long-term relationship that never took the steps to marriage or children or anything, and the person walked away from you and you just fell apart from it, and you did everything you could to fix it, and it was apparently unfixable, or the other person just wanted to move on. Whatever it is, you just have to find a way. And that's why I'm big on, I preach it basically, is self-awareness, figuring out who you are, do the work on yourself, let yourself feel those raw emotions so that you can deal with them and heal and grow from it and make that next step in being happy and whole in yourself. That way you can attract the right people into your life or make the relationships you currently have better. All right, guys, like, share, subscribe. And nostalgia can be nice, but it can suck you in and be a vacuum as well. So beware. Happy holidays. I'll talk to you guys again soon.